Good morning, everybody. How are we all? It seems glorious at the moment. I hope it's going to stay that way. Hello, so it's another eventing vlog, and we are very busy because I spent half an hour dithering as to whether I wanted to withdraw or not this morning, because we had horrific rain yesterday, and then the weather today is currently stunning. It's not even 6 a.m. yet, and look at that. But we forecast like thunder and lightning storms and very high winds. So I have spent the morning dithering, but we've decided to go for it, because what about if it doesn't rain, etc., and we can manage. We've packed loads of waterproofs. I've been running around getting the horses in a good spot in case the weather turns here. So there's 2 out with shelter, 2 in. Obviously, old weepy eye here, the flies keep getting in. Boy, I'll clean you up in a minute. Is in waiting to get sorted. So we're a bit short on time, but I think I'm making up time as I go. And we're going to keep on cracking on, and the decision to go has been made, so we are committed now. So yeah, it's 10 to 6. We're leaving around about 6:15. I've not started plaiting Donutty, but everything else is done. So I'm going to see if I can just get his plaits down. If he plays up too much, I'm just going to load him up and we can go, because he's not very good at standing still. Well, I plait him because he gets really, really giddy and excited. So, yeah, see you on the flip side.
It's the most boring drive.
How is it? 100 miles to go. Okay then, so I've been asked for some context behind the course walks and a bit of an insight. I didn't have time to do a proper course walk on the day where I'd talk to you about it, so instead I'm doing a voiceover, and here goes. So we had the nice let up fences on approach, and then on fence number 5 we had a little ditch to a skinny. So for me, he just needed to be steadied up, given chance to see it, especially as I know Donut can be ditchy, and then kept straight for the skinny afterwards. Then he had a let up fence, and then I thought that this fence that we're approaching now, 7AB, was probably one of the bigger questions on course. You can see on the approach that you can't really see that there's space to put the feet down as they go, so then they have to assess it, and then as they get up to it, the step up has a ditch in front of it, which Donut's not actually done before, and a short 1 stride on before you jump a real into space fence. We then go on to 8AB, which was a decent table with like a bit of a hump, a bit of ground undulation in the middle for them to keep their balance over. And then, look at me, I was trying to bike that, so nearly died. Then another sort of log pile table to come to afterwards. So a balance up the hill, shoulders back as you come down, and then approach and rebalance for the log pile. Then a couple more let-up fences, and then another question here with the 8AB of a bit of a attacking fence on the way in, you know, a half-decent box, and then you want some control back to then get round on your curving line to the part B, which is very skinny and a bit of an optical illusion with the flag sticking out of the side. So it's a case of jump the fence, then they need to come back to you, rebalance, look after the left leg, the outside aids to come around the corner so we don't duck out to the left, and then get them a chance to lock on, and by that stage hopefully leave them alone and let them jump through the middle. We then go on to a lovely sort of ditch log type thing. So Ditchy Donut's going to have to get over his ditch fear because there's a lot to do. And then another lovely let up box. So lovely gallop, try and jump it out of your stride. Slightly more upright palisade, shoulders back, little rebalance, then jump, still going out of your stride. They should respect it. then a little bit of a play in the woods, so get round. Then this sort of jumps out at you slightly, but there's loads of stuff around it, so you're not going to run past it. The only risk is a stop, so you just need plenty of leg on. And then there's a part B, skinny house, later on, so again, just get their eyes up, shoulders up, and a good balanced steering to it. We then had to turn left to this tricana, ditchy donut again, and eyes up. And as we approach the last actual jumping effort, which is a log pile on the way to the water, and it was very odd, we just sort of finished with the water complex. So there you go, that feels like a whistle stop tour around the course. Let's get donut ready.
I lose my breath whenever I see you. You stole my heart, what is it that you do? My life was great till you added color.
Go eventing, they said. It'll be fun, they said. You alright, Nutty? Very, very rainy right now. Very rainy. I'm not getting on yet, I'm waiting for this to pass.
You're my heart's desire. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire. You set my world on fire. I don't know what I'd do without you. You make me smile, what is it that you do? My life was great till you added colors. Like the moon is the snow, we don't care about the others. You set my world on fire. You're my heart's desire. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire. You set my world on fire. I just want you, I just need you. I don't know what it is you do. I just want you, I just need you. I don't know what it is you do. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire. You set my world on fire.
Right then, let's take a look at our dressage test. So looking at my dressage sheet, it started well and then deteriorated, but let's see. So centre line, lovely and straight, good boy donut, got a 7, managed to maintain the balance around the corner, and then we went to a half a 10-metre circle, returning to the track at M, and you can see we're starting to do it. So we need to reach the centre line and then be on the diagonal to M. Very accurate from me, very obedient from Donut. And we got a 7. Could have maybe got like 7.5. There's not much to complain about there. Circle left 15 metres diameter. And as you can see, I'm being pretty accurate. His steps are consistent. He's got energy. He's over his back. Possibly a slight left nose tilt. We got a 7. The Nose tilt I am aware of. Donut is ever so slightly parrot-mouthed, and he has the dentist every 6 months to make sure that he's okay. It doesn't seem to affect him in any other way, but he's due. So I'm waiting for her to come off of holiday and he can have his teeth done. So that's where I think that's coming from. So we got a 6.5 with tipping nose slightly left, which we know. And then on this circle here, the judge said he was on his left shoulder. He looks fairly straight with a bit of right bend to me, but, you know, may look different from the judge's position. And we got a 7 for the circle, so 6.5 for the half 10 metre. And then the medium walk and free walk, we got a 6.5 with needs more purpose in the free walk, and I agree with that. He was stretching, but I didn't dare kick him because I didn't want him to jog. So next time I'll be a bit more, like, come on, let's swing forwards a bit more energy, please, because you can see there's more energy there as we prepare for the trot. I was so pleased with how well behaved he was in that trot transition. We got a 6.5 though with some loss of straightness FB, and I've just missed it because I was reading. You guys tell me whether I had loss of straightness or not. Canter, as we crossed the centre line first time on the 20 metre circle, we got a 6.5, not quite on aids. I was actually very pleased with that transition, but hey ho. And then the rest of the working canter, we got a 6 with needs more balance and suppleness. So personally, I think the picture is looking great. Maybe Donut is not this judge's cup of tea, but you know what? There's other days where we don't do such a good test and we get a better mark because he is the other judge's cup of tea. But for me, on a level of training, I am very pleased with this test that he is performing today. Just a little bit of unsteadiness in the contact there, and he wasn't on my aids for this canter transition. We ran a little bit, which usually his right canter is a better transition, so I would say I hadn't prepared enough there. So let's have a little bit of a nosy. We got a 6.5 and then a 6 with not on aid, and then a 6.5 with the canter around here needing better balance. But like I say, I personally think he looks really quite good for where he's at, and I was very pleased with him. Then we've got to turn down the centre line and halt at X, and we got a 6 for our centre line and halt, and then started well but lost some suppleness and balance, but I was pleased with him. Good boy, Donutty. Right then, let's go straight on to the show jumping. So I wouldn't usually make a comment on organisation, but I was a little bit frustrated with this situation we ended up in with the warm-up. Usually with show jumping, you either run to time or you put your numbers down on the board. And there was some miscommunication going on with the two arenas. So there was a very small holding arena in the indoor, and then this was your final warm-up arena, where the indoor people were sending you through with 5 to go, so you could go and warm up straight away. The people in this arena were making you wait until your time, so I ended up going through too early, and then I had to hang around and wait. And what ended up happening was this already fairly tight arena for a lot of people to warm up in and jump actually ended up very, very busy, and you had a lot of people passing you, a lot of people hanging around. So it was quite a challenge to warm up, and I was so chuffed with how Donut managed, because as you can see, he's having to dodge people, he's having to turn, I'm having to watch what's going on as well as concentrating on him. And he doesn't particularly like warm-ups and having to dodge people. When we went to Askham Bryan last year, he lost his marbles a little bit because he couldn't cope with all the people, and yet you can see here I had to do a circle and was dodging lots of people, and he actually managed really, really well. So I was so proud of him. It might not have been the warm-up that I would have liked to prepare him for his jumping round a course, but I was so proud of his maturity and how he got on with it. So anyway, I finally got to go in at my time, which was 1 minute past 1, and I went and showed him. He's never jumped a triple bar before, so I think we've got 2 angles of the round for you guys to watch. So this is Mother H cam, so we'll watch from this angle first. And I thought it looked pretty tricky course with a load of dog legs and the likes. So first one, and then a dog leg to this sort of Union Jack fence, and I was trying to keep him in a good balance and rhythm. I ended up a little bit far off, so I had to give him a kick, but he got on with it. I didn't think he'd jumped a triple bar, and he came around the corner and actually ran himself off the stride a little bit, but he carried on, and I just sat back and thought, well, he can sort himself out if he's going to run off the stride. And he managed to jump that next fence quite well. I then thought that we were getting a bit speedy and a bit out of control, so I thought, right, let's just do a trot transition, rebalance and come back to it. And actually, if anything, that probably made us lose our balance a little, so we had that fence down. Then this turn back here, I personally thought that I'd cut the corner. It doesn't look particularly like it here. I definitely cut the corner here, and you can see why we took it down, but I'm not quite sure what I did at the blue. It will be interesting to watch from a different angle, but as you can see, it's just little mistakes I made, and then we finished off the round really quite smartly again. So we're just teething issues. He's not the easiest horse in the world to show jump, but I was very pleased with, 1, how he coped with the warm-up. We're going to view 2. This is Amy Cam. And 2, with just cracking on and jumping around a tricky course. And he just keeps on trying, bless him. He's such a good boy. So it gives me the opportunity to go, oh, I messed that up, but it's okay. We'll do better next time. Right, watch and enjoy this round, and I will speak to you at cross country.
I had a feeling you'd come back and save me from all those lonely nights and heartbreaks, and I feel misplaced without you. Why don't we go back to, why don't we go back to, never wanted to end it like we did. I guess shit happens for a reason, but it's like something feels different from back then. Why don't we go back to, why don't we go back to? Honestly, I'm open wide. I don't feel like waking up without you by my side. I still see your silhouette. Why don't we go back to, why don't we go back to your bedroom?
Chinese rider out in the distance now, and just left the start box is Evangeline Llewellyn-Smith on 0 West. Got a Bachelor of Science honours with honours in equine sport science, as 538 completes the track.
Here we go. So fence 1, 2, 3, done well. Gallop up the hill, and we're approaching fence 4, which you can just see with the big sort of pillars, and you can just about see on this clip all the way around to the ditch. So Donny was getting into a lovely stride, and he was flowing and just cantering and popping. He's really starting to get much less spooky about the cross country, much less wiggly, and more on his job. So you can see I steady him down now for the ditch. Ooh, big pop, and then pops through. So the rest of the course, because this is us on our way home, he did really well. You can see it started chucking it down sort of on our last third of the course. We had a bit of a blip at that bank with the ditch, and I could just tell he just hadn't read it. He couldn't read it, so he was peering at it the whole way up to it, and then of course the ditch jumped out at him and he was like, oh my god. But you can see now by the time he's coming around to the Trakehner, he is not being ditchy anymore. So he has learned a hell of a lot from this course. And he came and he jumped it second time. I actually don't think he realised there was anywhere to put his feet once he was on the bank, because he sort of had a diver while he was on the top of the bank. But he was a good boy, jumped off the end of it. He jumped through that skinny curving line amazing, which to say he used to be a wiggly worm. I was so proud of him, and look at him coming home through this rain. Good boy. And you can see I was not in a hurry. We'd had a stop, but it was such good education for both of us. So all round, good boy.
Still first place in section K.
Home sweet donutty. Just like that, we're home in very windy Nottinghamshire. It's been like 40-mile-an-hour winds, torrential rain to drive home. So it's not been the most pleasant, but Mum has safely piloted the lorry home. I will just go to a bit of shelter so that you don't have this wind noise to do a bit of a debrief, isn't it? So quick debrief. Obviously you've heard my opinions on the situation from the voiceover. A useful day in my opinion. That's how I'm coming at it from today. The voiceover you'll have just listened to will come from future Evie when I have had time to sit down and analyse. Personally, I think it was useful. I was really pleased with Donut's dressage test. I thought he did a much better test than Eland, and he is still improving. There was obviously mistakes in there, but the overall picture is improving. And yeah, I was really pleased. The score didn't reflect the test that he did, in my opinion. But by the same token, every judge has an opinion. They're not robots. The sport is subjective, not objective. So with that in mind, I think we're like 15th after dressage. So not really in a placing to be competitive, but possibly competitive. And then the show jumping, I thought he managed really well given the scenario and the situation we were in. There was areas that I could have given him a better chance to leave the fences up. But overall, he jumped his first triple bar. He gave it a good shot given the surroundings and everything that was going on. I was just proud of him for cracking on. And cross country was good. He managed so well. It started torrential raining like halfway through, and thunder and lightning. And I'd said, you know, if the weather got too bad, I would pull up and retire. But I'd gone for the experience, because the ground is good. You can see out there, it's been torrential raining here as well. But the ground is good. It's actually great because we've had rain, so we're not riding in overly slippy conditions. So it gives me an opportunity to practice going in the rain. Gives Donut an opportunity to practice going in different conditions. Obviously I would have instantly pulled up if I thought it was unsafe at any time, and I'd say the worst rain came as we were heading to the last jump, and we popped over that, and I'd have probably pulled up if I was in the middle of the course at that stage. But yeah, we managed to get away with sort of the latter end of the course, and he did really well. There was some elements that it was a big eyeful for him to see, and obviously we had that pesky 20 penalties, but we're doing a lot of changing in my riding style. I'm in supremely short stirrups now, which I think is so much better. But one, it's taking a bit of time for my muscle memory to come through and to improve, and I need to improve my strength. And two, it's taking time for the horses to adjust. So I've had a few lessons with the pros this year, and it's so windy. It's kind of that thing of breaking some eggs to make an omelette, if we want to use a saying, isn't it? Where I've got to change my style, and I'm giving the horses their responsibility back. And like for Donut, I've micromanaged him all the way through, and I'm kind of sitting a bit lighter, a bit softer and whatever, and it just means that I need him a little bit sharper. Can't believe I'm saying this. A little bit sharper for the times when he decides that he's not sure, he needs to react and trust me a bit quicker. So we'll do some work on that. After his little blip, he felt like he finished fantastically. Nothing feels too big for him. He did a few really tricky skinny combo and they were fantastic. One of the skinnies, the really skinny one, as I came up to it, I'd been a little bit worried that we might have a flyby, and I felt him lock on. I was like, fantastic, rode him forward to it, and he was straight as a die. But I could see on the ground there was so many skid marks. It had obviously caused a load of trouble, and he managed that absolutely great. So this is why he's staying at 100 for longer, because we both need a bit more mileage and he needs a bit more experience and muscles, and we're now changing things about my riding system. But overall, I think it's good in the long run. And you know what? I might as well mess up a bit in each phase, although I don't feel like the dressage particularly messed up. I was quite pleased with that. But the dressage score wasn't great. So I might as well have a day of just going bit rubbish than messing up a phase when we're in the lead or something. Because obviously I want to go and be competitive, but by the same token, I don't want to be competitive at the detriment to my improving my riding ability. And some people would like withdraw or retire or whatever to try and not have the faults on their horse's record. I could have easily just had the stop, jumped a couple more fences, and then retired and said, oh, the rain got too bad midway through my cross-country round. But one, that would be a lie, and two, we wouldn't have the benefit of finishing the cross-country round and getting that education as we go around for both me and for him. So in my eyes, I just think he's answered, what is there was 18 fences on the course. He's answered more than 90%. He's answered like 95% of the course correctly. He's had a 5% blip, which is nothing, is it? Really, in the greater scheme of things. And we know what we're doing in the show jumping, and we know what happened. Because future Evie will explain in the voiceover. But anyway, I hope you enjoy the vlog, and I will speak to you soon.
And things like we did, I'm sorry for all those promises I made you that I couldn't keep. But it's like some